Brave women. Let me ask you this. How many times have you found yourself questioning a man's intentions? Wondering if his words match his actions? Or if you're caught in an endless cycle of mixed signals, confusion, and emotional games? You're not alone in this struggle, but here's the truth you need to hear. You hold more power than you think. The key to reclaiming control lies in understanding dark Stoic psychology, a blend of ancient wisdom and modern insight that will help you outsmart any man who dares to toy with your heart. When a man plays games, it's often about power, testing your boundaries, keeping you uncertain, making you chase. But here's the twist. The very games he plays reveal his weaknesses. And through the teachings of Stoicism and dark psychology, you can turn the tables effortlessly. You see, dark Stoic psychology isn't about manipulation. It's about mastering yourself, your emotions, your reactions, and your mindset, so you become unshakable. It's about recognizing that the greatest power isn't in trying to fix him or decipher his games, but in standing firm in your value and making him realize that you are the prize he must pursue. Imagine a chessboard. Every move matters. While he's busy plotting, thinking he's ahead, you're quietly observing, calculating, and positioning yourself to win the game. That's the kind of strategy we're diving into today. And trust me, when you embody the principles of Stoicism, control over your emotions, unwavering confidence, and a deep understanding of male psychology, you don't just play the game, you dominate it. Some of you might be wondering, why should I even care about understanding his games? Shouldn't he just respect me without all this? And yes, respect is a baseline requirement. But here's the harsh reality. Not every man you encounter will play fair. Some will try to exploit your kindness, test your patience, or see how far they can push your limits. Knowing how to outsmart these tactics isn't about stooping to their level. It's about rising above it. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Through dark Stoic psychology, you'll learn how to remain calm in the face of his provocations, how to create intrigue without chasing, and how to set boundaries that make him respect you or walk away. And let me be clear, walking away is one of the most powerful moves you can make because it shifts the dynamic completely. The moment you stop chasing is the moment he starts running towards you. So, brave women, are you ready to flip the script? Are you ready to stop reacting to his games and start commanding his attention? If this resonates with your soul, write, "I am the game changer" in the comments. Like this video, share it with your sisters, and subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning of reclaiming your power. Stay tuned, because what's coming next will leave no man's game undefeated. Number 1, stop reacting. Outsmart. Any man's mind games with calm power. Brave women, have you ever felt like a man is pulling the strings, trying to provoke you into reacting, only to leave you questioning your worth? Like every word, every action, is carefully designed to test your patience and push your buttons. If you've been there, let me tell you something powerful. Reacting to his games is exactly what he wants. He thrives on your emotional energy, your confusion, your need for clarity. But here's the good news. You don't have to play his game. The moment you stop reacting and reclaim your calm power, the rules change, and you're the one in control. Dark Stoic psychology is your secret weapon here. It's not just about controlling your emotions. It's about mastering your mind and understanding his. When a man tries to provoke a reaction, what he's really doing is testing your boundaries and gauging his influence over you. But when you refuse to react, when you meet his games with silence, composure, and confidence, you send a message louder than words. You cannot be manipulated. You cannot be moved. This is the essence of calm power, and it's a power that will make him sit up and take notice. Think of it this way. Imagine you're standing in the eye of a storm. Around you, chaos rages, wind, thunder, rain, but you remain steady, untouched by the turbulence. This is what happens when you embrace Stoicism in the face of his games. Instead of being swept up in his drama, you become the calm within it, unshakable and untouchable. And let me tell you, no man knows how to handle a woman who can't be rattled. It's like trying to throw a stone into a lake only to watch it sink without a ripple. But you might be wondering, if I don't react, won't he think I don't care? Won't he walk away? Here's the truth. A man who needs you to lose yourself in his games to feel validated isn't the kind of man worth chasing. The right man, the one who truly values you, will be drawn to your ability to remain composed and self-assured. And if he walks away because you won't play his game, good riddance. You've just made room for someone who will admire your strength instead of testing it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the heart of dark Stoic psychology. It's not about trying to control his actions or predict his moves. It's about staying rooted in your own power and letting him realize that his games have no effect on you. Here's the magic of this approach. When you stop reacting, you shift the dynamic entirely. Suddenly, he's the one scrambling to figure you out, to get a reaction, to understand your silence. Your calmness becomes a mystery he can't solve, a puzzle he's compelled to unravel. And in that moment, the power is yours. Picture this. He sends a cryptic text meant to confuse you, to make you question where you stand. Instead of over-analyzing or sending a long-winded reply, you simply let it sit. Maybe you reply later with a short, confident statement, or maybe you don't reply at all. Either way, your silence speaks louder than anything you could say. It tells him that you're not playing his game, and that you're perfectly fine without his attention. That's the kind of calm power that turns the tables. Brave women, your strength doesn't lie in how loudly you react. It lies in your ability to remain composed when he expects you to crumble. This is how you outsmart any man's mind games. With silence, with composure, with the quiet confidence of a woman who knows her worth. If you're ready to claim this power, write "I am unshakable" in the comments. Let it be your declaration to yourself and to the world. Like this video and share it with other women who need to hear this truth. Together, we can strengthen each other. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the next step, I'll show you how to set boundaries so firm that no man would dare to cross them. Stay tuned, because your journey to becoming unstoppable is just beginning. Number 2, make him chase you. Turn the tables and command his attention. Brave women, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like you're the one doing all the chasing? The one constantly wondering why he isn't as invested, why he's pulling away, or why it feels like you're the only one holding the connection together? It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the truth. You were never meant to chase. You were meant to be pursued, admired, and cherished. And the moment you stop running after him is the moment he realizes he can't live without you. This isn't about games or manipulation. It's about understanding dark Stoic psychology, a strategy rooted in mastering your emotions, projecting confidence, and shifting the power dynamic in your favor. When you harness these principles, you flip the script entirely. Instead of you seeking his attention, he's the one working to earn yours. Instead of questioning his feelings, he's lying awake at night, wondering how to keep you in his life. Picture this. You're a rare diamond, dazzling and untouchable. Men don't chase after rocks on the ground. They pursue the diamond because they know its worth. When you embody this mindset, when you fully embrace your own value, you stop being someone who waits for his validation. You become the one he can't stop thinking about, the one he's desperate to impress. You might be asking, how do I make him chase me without playing games? It starts with understanding male psychology. Men are naturally drawn to what challenges them, what intrigues them, and what feels just out of reach. Dark Stoic psychology teaches you how to tap into this instinct, not by pretending to be something you're not, but by becoming a woman who radiates self-worth and independence. The key is to stop chasing him and start chasing your own dreams, passions, and happiness. When you make your happiness a priority, something incredible happens. He begins to see you as someone who doesn't need him, someone who's whole and fulfilled on her own. And that's magnetic. Men crave the thrill of the chase, the excitement of earning a place in your life. By focusing on yourself, you naturally create the kind of energy that makes him run after you. But let's address the fear. What if he loses interest if I stop chasing? That fear is rooted in scarcity. It's time to flip that mindset. If a man loses interest because you refuse to beg for his attention, he's not the kind of man who deserves you in the first place. The right man will rise to meet your standards because he sees your value. As the great Stoic philosopher Seneca said, if you want him to value you, value yourself first. Here's a metaphor. Imagine a fire. If you run after it, the flames leap away from you. But when you sit calmly and tend to it with patience and care, the fire grows, drawing closer, warming you with its intensity. You are that fire. Stop chasing and let him come to feel the heat of your brilliance. Now, this doesn't mean being cold or distant. It's about balance. Show warmth, but let him take the steps toward you. Show interest, but let him lead the pursuit. Dark Stoic psychology reminds us that true strength comes from restraint, from mastering your emotions and actions, even when it feels counterintuitive. So how do you start? Begin by stepping back. Reclaim your time and energy for yourself. Build your own happiness. Pursue your passions, and nurture the relationships that uplift you. When he sees you thriving, he'll realize that being with you is a privilege, not a guarantee. This shift in mindset makes all the difference. Brave women, you have the power to command his attention without ever chasing him. Let him feel the thrill of earning your affection. Let him realize that you are the woman he cannot afford to lose. If this resonates with you, write, "I am the prize," in the comments below. Declare your worth. Like this video, share it with other women who need to reclaim their power, and subscribe to the channel, because the next step will teach you how to set boundaries that no man dares to cross. Your transformation is just beginning. Stay fierce, stay powerful, and watch him chase you like never before. Number 3, know his weakness. Use male psychology to gain the upper hand. Brave women, have you ever felt trapped in the maze of a man's mixed signals, wondering if he's testing your patience, your worth, or your heart? It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's a secret that will shift the entire dynamic. Men aren't as complicated as they seem. Their actions, though sometimes confusing, often stem from predictable psychological patterns. The key is understanding these patterns, not to manipulate, but to master the game they think they're playing. This is where dark Stoic psychology becomes your ultimate weapon, giving you the insight and strength to take control without lifting a finger. The truth is, every man has a weakness. And no, it's not about exposing some hidden vulnerability. It's about recognizing the core needs that drive him. Men thrive on feeling capable, admired, and in control. But these desires can also become their blind spots. When you understand these dynamics, you can position yourself in a way that commands his respect and admiration effortlessly. As Stoic wisdom teaches, he who controls himself has mastered the world. The same applies here. By mastering your own emotions and responses, you naturally take the upper hand. Imagine you're playing a game of chess. He's strategizing his next move, thinking he's one step ahead. But you, the queen on the board, see the bigger picture. You anticipate his every action, not out of fear, but with calm, calculated poise. This is the essence of dark Stoic psychology. When you understand how his mind works, you don't just react, you lead. You don't chase. You make him realize you're the one worth chasing. Now, let's address the questions swirling in your mind. Why do men play games in the first place? Often, it's not about you. It's about them. A man may play games because he's unsure of his own feelings, testing the waters to see how much power he holds over you. But when you respond with unshakable confidence and control, the game flips. Instead of questioning your worth, he begins questioning his ability to meet your standards. You might wonder, how can understanding male psychology really give me the upper hand? The answer lies in how you position yourself. A man's greatest fear isn't rejection, it's irrelevance. By focusing on your own growth, happiness, and independence, you subtly but powerfully remind him that you don't need him. This taps into his primal instincts. Men are wired to pursue what they can't easily have. When you create a dynamic where you're not always available, always agreeable, or always catering to him, you become irresistible. Here's a metaphor to cement this idea. Think of a flame. If you're too close, the flame burns out. If you're too distant, it fades. But when you maintain the perfect distance, bright, steady, and untouchable, it draws him in. He becomes captivated by your warmth, but cautious of your strength. This is how you outmaneuver him using dark Stoic psychology. And let me be clear, brave women, this isn't about playing games in return. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about knowing that the moment you master yourself, no man's games can affect you. You become the one setting the tone, dictating the rhythm, and leading the connection. When he sees that you're emotionally grounded and unbothered by his tactics. Number 4, walk away to win. The power move that will leave him speechless. Brave women, have you ever felt trapped in the exhausting cycle of trying to prove your worth to a man who keeps playing games with your heart? Have you caught yourself wondering, what more can I do to make him see my value? Here's the liberating truth. You don't need to do more. You don't need to plead, explain, or wait for his attention. The most powerful move you can make, the one that will leave him absolutely speechless, is to walk away. And not out of anger, but out of an unshakable belief in your worth. Walking away isn't about defeat. It's the ultimate act of self-respect. It's a declaration that says, I will not settle for breadcrumbs when I deserve the whole feast. This is where dark Stoic psychology becomes your strongest weapon. By mastering your emotions and focusing on what you can control, you shift the dynamic completely. You reclaim the power he thought he had, and suddenly, the game isn't fun for him anymore. Why? Because you've shown that you're not someone who can be manipulated or strung along. You're the woman he will regret losing. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine being a rare diamond, radiating value and brilliance. Now picture someone tossing that diamond aside, thinking it's just another stone. What happens when you step out of his reach? He sees the sparkle he took for granted, but by then, he's left standing in the dark. That's the essence of walking away with confidence. You make him realize your absence is far more powerful than your presence when he's not giving you what you deserve. Some of you might be asking, what if walking away makes him move on? Here's the hard truth. If he doesn't come running back, he was never meant to stay. And isn't it better to know that now than waste more of your precious energy on someone unworthy of your light? But more often than not, walking away triggers something deep within a man's psyche. Dark Stoic psychology teaches us that people value what they fear losing. When you step away, you disrupt his comfort, forcing him to confront the reality that you're not an option. You're a privilege. Stoicism reminds us to focus only on what we can control: our actions, our boundaries, and our reactions. You can't control his behavior, but you can control how much access he has to you. Walking away isn't about playing hard to get. It's about genuinely removing yourself from situations that don't honor your worth. It's not a game. It's a standard. Now think about this. The strongest negotiators don't beg or plead. They walk into the room knowing their value and are fully prepared to walk out if their terms aren't met. This is the energy you bring when you walk away. It's not desperation. It's power. As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, said, "Know what you can control and what you cannot, and within that knowledge lies your strength." Picture this. He's texting sporadically, giving you just enough attention to keep you guessing. Instead of responding, hoping for more, you make the decision to step back. You stop initiating. You stop over-explaining. You let him feel the silence of your absence. And while he's busy wondering what happened, you're pouring your energy into yourself, your goals, your passions, your peace. This shift doesn't just empower you, it creates a magnetic pull. Suddenly, he's the one left chasing the clarity you've already found. Walking away also forces you to confront your own fears. It's not just about what he feels. It's about breaking free from the need for external validation. Dark Stoic psychology equips you with the mindset to say, "I am enough," with or without his attention. And that is the energy that draws the right man toward you while repelling those who aren't worthy. So, brave women, are you ready to make the move that changes everything? Walk away. Not out of anger, but out of love for yourself. Walk away to win, because staying in a game that disrespects your heart is never a victory. If this resonates with you, comment, "I choose me" below and own your power. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with the strong women in your life who need this reminder. And stay tuned, because next, we'll explore how to create intrigue and become the woman every man can't stop pursuing. Your journey to unstoppable power starts now. Number 5, set boundaries that no man dares to cross. There comes a moment in every relationship where a man subtly, or not so subtly, tests your limits. Maybe it's a dismissive comment, a broken promise, or an assumption that you'll bend over backward to accommodate him. What you do in that moment defines everything. Do you let it slide, hoping it won't happen again? Or do you stand firm, showing him that you are not a woman who tolerates disrespect? The answer, my powerful sisters, lies in mastering the art of setting boundaries. Boundaries so clear and unyielding that they force him to rise to meet your standards or step aside. Dark Stoic psychology teaches us that boundaries are not just about protecting ourselves. They are about communicating our value. A man respects a woman who respects herself. The moment you allow someone to cross the line without consequence, you signal that your worth is negotiable. But when you stand firm, you create a magnetic aura of strength and self-assurance that no man can ignore. Picture a queen in her castle. Her boundaries are not open for debate. They are the walls that protect her kingdom. She does not explain or defend them. They simply exist. And those who wish to enter must earn the privilege. You are that queen, and your boundaries are your power. The man who truly values you will never attempt to scale those walls by force. Instead, he will honor them because he knows that the moment he disrespects your boundaries, he loses access to you. You might wonder, how do I set boundaries without coming across as harsh or unapproachable? The key lies in clarity and calmness. Dark Stoic psychology emphasizes emotional control, a skill that allows you to enforce your boundaries without unnecessary drama. For example, if he dismisses your feelings, instead of reacting with anger, you might say, "I value communication based on mutual respect. If we can't have that, this conversation won't work for me." This approach is direct, unemotional, and impossible to misinterpret. But let's address the fear. What if he leaves because I set boundaries? Let me tell you this. If a man walks away because you demand respect, he was never worth your time to begin with. Boundaries don't push the right man away. They challenge him to rise. And the wrong man? He will reveal himself quickly, saving you from months or years of compromise that erode your spirit. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value." When you value yourself enough to set boundaries, you teach him to value you too. And let me make one thing clear. Boundaries are not just about what you say. They're about what you enforce. If you set a line and then allow him to cross it, without consequence, you lose credibility. A boundary without follow-through is an empty threat, and nothing undermines respect faster than that. Imagine this. He cancels plans last minute, something he's done before. Instead of brushing it off, you calmly say, "I don't appreciate having my time disrespected. If this happens again, I won't be available next time." That's a boundary in action, not a threat, but a standard. And when he sees that you mean what you say, he will think twice before testing you again. Boundaries also require self-respect in your daily life. Are you prioritizing your needs, or are you constantly sacrificing them to make him comfortable? Dark Stoic psychology teaches us to focus on what we can control: our choices, our values, and our time. By honoring your own boundaries, you not only reinforce them for others, but also create a life that reflects your power and purpose. So, are you ready to draw the line and reclaim your power? Are you ready to show him that you're not someone who will tolerate disrespect? If this resonates with you, comment, "My boundaries are my power," below. Like this video, share it with every woman you know who needs this message, and subscribe to the channel. The next step in this journey will show you how to command respect effortlessly and make him see you as the queen you are. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. Number 6, silence his games. Master emotional control and stay unshakable. Brave women, how many times have you found yourself caught in a storm of emotional confusion because of a man's games? One moment he's warm and attentive, the next he's distant and indifferent, leaving you questioning your every move. Does he care? Did you do something wrong? Let me stop you right there. The moment you allow his behavior to dictate your emotions is the moment you hand him control. But here's the truth you need to embrace. You're far too powerful to let his games shake you. With the wisdom of Dark Stoic psychology, you can silence the chaos, master emotional control, and become unshakable in the face of any manipulation. Men who play games thrive on your reactions. They test boundaries, push buttons, and thrive on the emotional turbulence they create. But when you respond with calm, calculated strength, you don't just defy their expectations, you shift the entire dynamic. Dark Stoic psychology teaches us this: the one who controls their emotions holds the ultimate power. By mastering this principle, you become a fortress, a woman so grounded in her value that no amount of mixed signals or mind games can break her resolve. Think of it this way: life is like a battlefield, and his games are designed to pull you into the chaos. But a true warrior doesn't flinch at the clash of swords. She watches, waits, and acts only when necessary. Picture yourself as a lioness in the wild. She doesn't chase every movement in the grass. She waits with quiet confidence, knowing that her strength lies in her composure. That's the energy you bring when you master emotional control. Some of you may wonder, why shouldn't I express my frustration or call him out on his games? Here's why. The more you react emotionally, the more fuel you give him. He wins by making you doubt yourself, second-guess your instincts, and lose your center. But when you respond with calm indifference, you strip him of the satisfaction he craves. This isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about channeling them wisely. As the great Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. What does this look like in action? Imagine he suddenly pulls away after days of intense connection. Instead of chasing or questioning him, you stay calm. You don't call, you don't text, and you don't seek reassurance. Instead, you focus on yourself, your goals, your passions, your inner peace. You let him feel the weight of your absence and the power of your emotional composure. This isn't coldness. It's self-respect in its purest form. Dark Stoic psychology also reminds us that silence can be louder than words. When you don't react, you force him to confront his own behavior. He starts to wonder why his tactics aren't working, why you're not scrambling for his attention. And in that moment, the power shifts. He begins to see you not as someone he can control, but as someone he must rise to meet. Some of you might ask, what if I lose him by staying silent? The real question is, why would you want to keep a man who thrives on games? A man who truly values you will respect your strength and stability. He won't test your limits. He'll honor them. And if his absence reveals his inability to rise to your level, then his loss is your gain. Here's the secret. Mastering emotional control doesn't just protect you from his games. It transforms you into the kind of woman who commands respect. When you refuse to be shaken, you set a standard that forces him to either step up or step out. And trust me, a man who sees your resilience will be drawn to it. Why? Because strength is irresistible, and your unshakable composure becomes the anchor that makes him feel both challenged and inspired. So, brave women, are you ready to silence his games and reclaim your emotional power? Write, "I am unshakable" in the comments if you're claiming this strength today. Like this video, share it with your sisters who need to hear this, and subscribe to the channel for the next step in this journey. Together, we'll dive into creating mystery and intrigue, the kind that keeps him chasing long after the game ends. Your power is unstoppable, and this is just the beginning. Number 7, create intrigue. Become the woman. No man can resist. Brave women, have you ever wondered why some men seem captivated by certain women while others go unnoticed? Why he's quick to chase one woman and indifferent to another? It's not luck or chance. It's the art of intrigue, the magnetic pull of a woman who exudes mystery, confidence, and self-mastery. If you've ever felt like you were trying too hard or giving too much only to be met with lukewarm interest, it's time to shift the dynamic entirely. The answer lies in harnessing Dark Stoic psychology, a powerful blend of emotional control and calculated action that makes you unforgettable. Intrigue isn't about playing childish games. It's about mastering the subtleties of attraction by understanding his mind better than he does. Men are hardwired to be hunters, driven by challenge, excitement, and curiosity. When you lay everything on the table, chasing his approval or trying to prove your worth, you take away the very thing that sparks his desire. Instead, what captivates him is a woman who moves through life with quiet confidence, a woman who invites him to unravel her layers without ever giving away all of herself too soon. Think of intrigue like a powerful novel. You don't turn the first page and find out the entire plot. Instead, each chapter builds anticipation, revealing just enough to keep you hooked while leaving you hungry for more. This is the essence of being a woman no man can resist, not through manipulation, but through the mastery of mystery and intentionality. It's the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, and the way you create an air of elegance and depth that keeps him coming back for more. Some of you might be asking, but isn't it more honest to be completely open with him from the start? Of course, honesty is vital, but being honest doesn't mean overexposing every part of yourself immediately. True authenticity lies in knowing which parts of yourself to reveal and when. It's about pacing the connection so that he has the privilege of discovering the depths of your personality over time. As Stoicism teaches, control over your impulses is the foundation of personal power. When you master your emotional urges and choose what to share with precision, you set the stage for a relationship where you lead the dynamic instead of reacting to it. Imagine this. You're a woman of passion and ambition, unapologetically pursuing your dreams. He sees you living a life so full and vibrant that he can't help but want to be part of it. You don't cancel your plans to wait on his call. You don't flood him with texts seeking validation. Instead, you move like the ocean, unpredictable, alluring, and unstoppable. He'll feel the need to earn his place in your world because he senses that your energy is too precious to waste on just anyone. Intrigue is also built in the moments you don't say everything. You don't need to announce your every thought, plan, or intention. Sometimes it's a pause, a subtle glance, or a playful smile that speaks louder than words. Men are drawn to the unknown because it challenges them. By embodying dark Stoic psychology, you resist the urge to over-explain or over-give, creating an aura of mystique that makes him work harder to understand and connect with you. Here's the secret. The power of intrigue doesn't just captivate his mind. It shifts his perception of you entirely. Suddenly, you're not just someone he's talking to. You're the woman who challenges him, inspires him, and keeps him guessing. And when he's invested in the chase, he's also investing in you. But let's address the fear some of you may have. What if I lose him by not giving him everything right away? Here's the hard truth. You can't lose what's truly meant for you. If a man pulls away because you set the standard for how you deserve to be treated, he was never yours to begin with. And if he steps up, intrigued by the woman you are, he'll prove his place in your life. So, courageous women, are you ready to stop chasing and start leading? Are you ready to step into your power and create the kind of intrigue that makes him think of you long after you've left the room? If so, write "I am the mystery" in the comments below. Like this video, share it with other women who need to reclaim their power, and subscribe to the channel. What's coming next will teach you how to silence his games and take control of the relationship dynamic. Don't miss it. The power to captivate any man is already within you. Now, it's time to unleash it. Number 8, demand respect. Show him how to treat you on your terms. Brave women, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're being tolerated rather than celebrated in a relationship? Like you're giving your all, but the respect, devotion, and admiration you deserve never seem to find their way back to you? The hard truth is this: men don't respect what they think they can take for granted. But here's the good news. You have the power to flip that dynamic. By using dark Stoic psychology, you can teach any man how to treat you with unwavering respect and admiration, all on your terms. Respect isn't a gift. It's earned, demanded, and upheld. The way a man treats you reflects what you tolerate, and when you set the standard, you dictate the rules of engagement. Think of it like a queen commanding her court. Her dignity and boundaries shape the behavior of those around her. She doesn't lower herself to appease or beg for loyalty. Instead, she exudes a quiet strength that leaves no room for disrespect. That's the kind of power we're talking about today. The ability to show him that if he wants to be in your life, it's on your terms. You might be wondering, but how do I demand respect without coming off as harsh or unapproachable? The answer lies in mastering your energy and presence. Men respect women who are unshakable in their self-worth. They respond to actions more than words, which is where dark Stoic psychology becomes your greatest weapon. Stoicism teaches you to remain calm and composed, even when provoked. It teaches you to value your inner strength above external validation. When you embody this mindset, you communicate a powerful message without ever raising your voice. I am not here to be disrespected. Imagine you're the ocean, vast, deep, and impossible to control. Waves crash on your surface, but your depths remain untouched. That's the energy you need to carry. For example, let's say a man tests your boundaries. Perhaps he cancels plans last minute or speaks to you in a dismissive tone. Instead of overreacting or pleading for better treatment, you calmly let him know, I value my time, and I expect the same consideration in return. Then, you follow through by withdrawing your energy if he doesn't adjust his behavior. This isn't about playing games. It's about showing him that your standards are non-negotiable. Here's the kicker. Men are wired to respect strength. When they see you standing firm in your boundaries, they view you as a challenge, a woman who won't settle for less than she deserves. And when you become a challenge, you become unforgettable. Weakness, on the other hand, invites dismissal. But your strength? That's what makes him run after you. As Marcus Aurelius once said, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. The same applies to you. Don't waste energy trying to explain why you deserve respect. Live it, embody it, and enforce it. The right man will rise to meet your standard, and the wrong one will show himself the door. Either way, you win. Now, you may wonder, what if standing firm pushes him away? Here's a truth you need to embrace. The man who leaves because you demand respect is a man you never needed in the first place. Respect isn't something you negotiate or compromise on. It's the foundation of any healthy relationship. And if he's unwilling to give it, you're better off without him. Through dark Stoic psychology, you gain the clarity to see through manipulative tactics, the strength to enforce your boundaries, and the confidence to prioritize your worth above all else. When a man encounters a woman who knows her value, his perspective shifts. He begins to see you as a rare and extraordinary force, someone he doesn't just want, but feels compelled to earn. So, brave women, are you ready to draw the line and show him how to treat you on your terms? If this message speaks to your soul, write, "Respect is my rule," in the comments. Like this video and share it with every woman who needs to reclaim her power. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because in the next strategy, we'll explore how to master the art of mystery and make him crave to uncover more about you. Stay tuned. The power is already yours. Let's unleash it. Number 9, lead the dynamic. Stop playing and start dominating his games. Brave women, Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship dynamic where it feels like he's always one step ahead, keeping you guessing and pulling the strings? Does it seem like every move you make is a reaction to his games? Like you're playing his chessboard instead of your own? Let me tell you something crucial. You're not here to be a pawn in anyone's game. You are the queen. And when you step into your power, not only do you dominate the board, you set the rules. The problem with emotional games is that they thrive on your reactions. He plays hot and cold, knowing you'll try harder to close the gap. He creates uncertainty, so you'll seek reassurance. But here's the truth. Dark Stoic psychology teaches us that the key to breaking free of this cycle isn't to play along. It's to lead. It's about mastering your emotions so thoroughly that his tactics fall flat. When you stop reacting and start acting with purpose, the entire dynamic shifts. He goes from feeling in control to realizing he's the one trying to catch up. Imagine for a moment that life is a stage, and you're the director. The man you're dealing with may think he's the star, improvising his lines to keep the spotlight on himself. But when you embrace the principles of Stoicism, you don't just step into the spotlight. You decide how the entire production unfolds. This is the power of leading the dynamic. Instead of responding to his unpredictable moves, you create a foundation so strong, he has no choice but to adapt to you. Maybe you're thinking, how can I lead when he's the one constantly playing games? That's where Stoicism becomes your weapon of choice. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you stop trying to control him and focus instead on mastering yourself, you take away the very fuel his games need to succeed. Your calmness, your silence, your refusal to chase. These are your greatest tools for dominating the dynamic. Think about it like this. A storm only has power if it can disrupt something. But what happens when it encounters a mountain? The storm rages, but the mountain doesn't move. That's who you become when you master Dark Stoic psychology. He may try his games, but they'll crash against your unshakable foundation. And when his efforts no longer work, he's left with no choice but to either step up or step out. This is not about manipulation or playing games of your own. It's about stepping into your full power as a woman who knows her worth. It's about recognizing that you don't need to win him over. You need to lead yourself. When you focus on your goals, passions, and happiness, you naturally shift the dynamic. Suddenly, he's no longer the center of your world, and that shift is magnetic. Men are drawn to women who aren't chasing them, but are too captivating to ignore. Now let's address a common question. What if I lead and he walks away? Let me be clear. If he walks away because you set boundaries or refused to play his games, he was never worth your energy in the first place. Leadership doesn't mean everyone will follow, and that's okay. The right man won't just follow your lead, he'll respect it. He'll rise to meet your standards because he knows he's dealing with a woman who values herself too much to settle. So how do you start leading the dynamic? It begins with small, deliberate choices. Don't text him back immediately if he's been inconsistent. Don't rearrange your plans for a man who doesn't respect your time. Focus on living your life so fully and authentically that his games become irrelevant. When he sees that you're thriving without needing his validation, the dynamic changes. He becomes the one seeking your approval. Brave women, you are not here to play by his rules. You are here to write your own. And when you lead with strength, grace, and unwavering confidence, no game can touch you. If this resonates with you, comment, "I lead the game" below and let the world know you're stepping into your power. Like this video, share it with every woman who needs to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel. Because next, we're diving into the art of creating intrigue. And trust me, it's a strategy that will keep any man on his toes. You're just getting started, and your power is unstoppable. Number 10, reclaim your power. Make any man admire and pursue you. Brave women, have you ever felt like you're giving your all in a relationship, only to be met with half-hearted effort? Have you stayed up at night wondering why he seems distant, or why you're left doing all the emotional heavy lifting? Here's the truth you need to hear. The moment you allow his behavior to dictate your worth, you hand over your power. But here's the good news. You're not helpless. You are powerful beyond measure, and it's time to reclaim that power and make any man realize that you are the one worth pursuing. Let me be clear. Admiration and pursuit are not things you beg for. They are things you command. Through the teachings of dark Stoic psychology, you can shift the balance of power in your favor. By mastering your emotions, setting unshakable boundaries, and understanding the male mind, you position yourself as the woman he can't stop thinking about. Stoicism teaches us that control over oneself is the ultimate strength, and when paired with a sharp understanding of human behavior, you stop chasing and start leading. Picture a queen on a chessboard. She doesn't rush to make a move, nor does she chase after the pawns. She holds her position, commanding respect by her very presence. That's what reclaiming your power looks like. It's not about games or manipulation. It's about standing so firmly in your value that no man dares to take you for granted. You might be thinking, but how do I do this when he's the one pulling away, playing hot and cold, or keeping me guessing? The answer lies in dark Stoic psychology. Men are wired to respect strength and clarity. When you stop reacting emotionally to their actions and instead create an atmosphere of calm confidence, you disrupt their game entirely. He begins to see you as a woman who doesn't need him, but chooses him. A woman who is grounded, secure, and magnetic. Let's take a metaphor. Think of a diamond, strong, unyielding, and rare. A diamond doesn't beg to be picked. It doesn't try to convince someone of its worth. It simply exists in its brilliance, knowing that those who recognize its value will cherish it. That's the energy you embody when you reclaim your power. You stop explaining yourself, over-apologizing, or settling for crumbs of attention. Instead, you set the standard, and he either rises to meet it or watches as you walk away. Here's the key. Reclaiming your power isn't about controlling him. It's about controlling you. When you detach from the need for validation and operate from a place of self-worth, you become unstoppable. Men sense this shift. They see the change in your energy, and it disrupts their perception. Suddenly, you're no longer the woman who tolerates disrespect or chases affection. You're the woman who commands admiration and inspires devotion. And let's address the doubts. Maybe you're wondering, will he leave if I stop giving so much? The answer is simple. If a man leaves because you choose to prioritize yourself, he was never yours to begin with. A man who truly values you will be drawn to your strength, not intimidated by it. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly. Reclaiming your power is a process, but once you master it, the results are undeniable. It's not about turning cold or indifferent. It's about radiating confidence. Confidence that says, I am worthy of respect, love, and admiration, and I refuse to settle for less. This is the core of dark Stoic psychology, learning to balance emotional detachment with authenticity. By doing this, you create a dynamic where he doesn't just admire you. He needs to pursue you. Brave women, this is your moment. Are you ready to step into your power and become the woman who leaves him captivated? If this resonates, write, I reclaim my power in the comments as a declaration of your strength. Like this video, share it with other women who need to hear this message, and subscribe to the channel. The next step in this journey will show you how to create irresistible intrigue, keeping him endlessly captivated. Stay tuned. Your transformation starts now. Conclusion. Brave women. The moment you reclaim your power, everything changes. Stop chasing, stop explaining, and stop settling for less than you deserve. Through dark Stoic psychology, you can master your emotions, set unshakable boundaries, and command admiration effortlessly. Like a diamond, your brilliance speaks for itself. Those who recognize your value will pursue you without hesitation. This isn't about playing games. It's about becoming the woman he can't ignore. Remember, your worth isn't negotiable, and when you stand in your power, he either rises to meet you or loses you. If this resonates with you, like this video, share it with other women to help them reclaim their strength, and subscribe to the channel for more powerful strategies. Comment, "I reclaim my power" below, and let the world know you are unstoppable. Stay tuned. Your transformation is just beginning.